last time we were at the track, and Colin and I were running the last run of the night, and it got hot, and we think it overheated and was spraying a little bit of coolant. So this is gonna be the last pass of the night. We're gonna take a passenger with us, add a little bit of weight. Let's go. So now we got a water temp gauge from Harbor Freight that we're going to install into the system hopefully, and it'll be nice to know the temperature that the motor's running at, especially since it's a rear engine car and the bike motor is usually cooled in the front of the bike, right behind the front tire obviously. So now I'll be able to know when I'm sitting in line at the drag strip how hot my car is, and if I should have the fan on the front or if I should turn it off, or what I should do. So let's put this gauge in. This is the gauge we got from Harbor Freight. It was cheap as dirt, and we're gonna install it. And they give us an adapter in case it doesn't fit into our OEM coolant temperature sensor. Then they give you this big adapter, which is awesome because we're gonna weld this big adapter onto a pipe connector and then thread this in. So let's get at it.
So that water temp gauge was extremely cheap, and that obviously means it's gonna work properly.
I have little connectors in the coolant pipes. We're gonna take them out. They're steel.
They're steel, so there will be rust inside this coolant system.
It's also orange coolant, so you won't be able to see the rust.
Unless it's really brown.
Unless it's really brown.
They were supposed to be temporary, but we sometimes don't do things properly. If they work, we just send it.
I'm pretty sure this was the one that was leaking anyway, so we're gonna fix it while we're here. Did you hurt your head?
No, I didn't.
Sounds good. That's a cool noise.
Not sure what this noise means, but does that mean it's sucking in air somewhere?
Probably. Huh. That's the one I didn't paint. As you can see, it's got a little bit of rust on it.
It has rust on the inside. I can see.
I know, it's good.
Send it.
Alright, so we're going to start with welding a thick washer to this adapter, and then we're going to weld the whole assembly onto the connector, so that way the thermal probe has enough room. I've kind of flattened the top of this a little bit. We're gonna drill a pilot hole, and we're gonna drill a hole just big enough for that probe to go through into here, and it's gonna come just a little over halfway down into this 1-inch tube connector. Here's our new adapter that I just made. We used the factory bung that was sent with this gauge, and we're just gonna thread it in there lightly just by hand, and we're gonna put the probe in here, and we're only gonna do 2 tack welds just to get it lined up, and then after that we're gonna pull the probe back out and weld it solid so it doesn't leak. This is the beautiful finished product, and we're just gonna put it in line, put 2 good heavy duty clamps on it, because now we have a little bit less surface area to seal, and so we got better clamps. And then just mount the gauge, run the wire, and put the probe through this thread adapter thing. All right, so here we got our drill with a hole saw. I think it's like a 2-inch or something. That's a 2-inch, 51 millimeter. And we're gonna put a hole in this plastic panel so that our gauge will sit right there. And it'll be discreet, but at least it's there. Wow. Just like that, we're done. That's how you install a gauge.
It's upside down.
No, it's not. The reason that I'm taping this is so the nut doesn't move back on the wire while I feed the probe through. So I'm just gonna tuck it under the carpet and then come underneath here, back to here, through the firewall, and plug it in. That's awesome. Right inside the firewall. Just gotta tighten that up and coil up the excess and fill the cooling system. All right, so the very important water temp gauge is in, and it's really easy to see. Just gotta go like this and glance between your shifter and your parking brake, and it's right there. All right, so we need a piece of hardwood to go behind the steering wheel to fill up the gap that the old nasty steering wheel took. So here we've got a nice piece of hardwood, and we're gonna go install it on the car.
I like wood paneling.
So we marked out 5 inches each way, and we actually didn't really need to do that now that I think of it. But anyways, so this is 2.5 inches from center to center, and we're just gonna put that in the 1/4 inch hole that we built for our protractor. Then the marker goes in this hole. Put your arm around this, and then you spin the piece that you're working on. And now we have a perfect eyesight for your 22 mil. So it's cut out, and it's pretty simple. And it just pops on there, and steering wheel goes on like so. That's how it's gonna sit. So we're just gonna spray paint it black. We're gonna keep the wood texture, but first we're gonna clean up the sides of it with the Dremel, just so that it looks a little more refined than just quick cut out hardwood. You know what, just how it sits is how it sits, and then we'll go back with silicone later. So we got some snow today, so we're gonna go rip around in the smart car and see how much downforce this wind gives us, test out the new water temp gauge, test out the new snow tires we put on it this summer, and yeah, just have some fun. I'm gonna rip this thing. It's really slippery.
sounds good.
We didn't get very far. It's really icy right there.
Pretty sure it's icy everywhere at this point.
I see steam and smoke right now. Well, let's pop the hood and check. Since we're stuck anyways.
She's not the battery now.
It smells a lot like steam. But there's only one way to find out. Oh hey, the temp gauge works.
Apparently the temp gauge works, but also we're just concerned whether this is all. I'm sure lots of it is steam, but we don't know if some of it might be smoke.
It's only
So we're
one.
gonna check.
We're just making sure it's safe, you know? Wow, that's a lot of steam.
I need to change my pants.
Is bleeding.
I guess so. I can't really see that much. What about this side?
I think we're stuck. We should really get a reverse setup somehow.
That's just idling. It's driving itself. It just idles by itself now. It has more power. Never done that last year.
So that was a short rip. It's nice weather out though. It's not too cold, so you can stay out there for a while. At the end there, it was pretty steady stream of coolant. So we'll figure out where the error is, even though I think we probably know.
It's probably that adapter I made.
Look at that. That smells like coolant.